hit it. Microphone check. Baby, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
you are now rocking with the best.
It's not some
Baby. One time.
still shining.
Respect my swag.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
and this is
Another episode.
a swingers
After dark. What time is it? It's time to get live.
and this is your host. Not some baby.
Let's go, champ.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not son, baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. And I'm with B-Mo. No, it's not Baltimore. It's not Baltimore. It's not B-More. It's B-Mo. You know what I'm saying? B-Mo. And her city is the home of my favorite television show. Do you know what it is, B-Mo?
What, The Wire?
Oh, yeah. So shit. Listen, let me ask you a question. Why people in B-Mo don't like Baltimore? Like every time I talk to people from Baltimore, why they don't like The Wire? Why people in Baltimore don't like The Wire? What's up with that?
I think it's because it's a false pretense of people think that's really how Baltimore is, but it really isn't, but it was. If that makes sense.
Okay, the math is not mathing.
So what I mean by that is like when people were watching The Wire, a lot of people thought those things were actually transpiring, but a lot of The Wire is from different crimes throughout the eras. So it wasn't one specific thing. So I think a lot of people get offended by that because people think that's automatically how Baltimore was at the time, but it kind of sort of is like that right now.
You know what's funny? Baltimore is my favorite fuck New York city. Like if I want to go somewhere, like if I want to get out of town, I just take that 3.5 4 hour drive down to B-Mall and chill. I love Baltimore. You know, I think
it's an awesome place.
Huh?
I think it's an awesome place.
Yeah, I gotta hit up Melba's though. I gotta hit up the hood.
I would never be in Melba's.
You know, I gotta hit up Melba's, and it's another lounge. It's popping, I believe, on Wednesdays because somebody in the LS, you know, DJ Voice, he's the DJ at the DDL Lounge. I gotta hit that up. You know, so I gotta hit that up on Wednesdays. He be cutting up at the DDL Lounge, and hopefully by the time this episode is released, he's still doing his thing. But fuck all that. Fuck all that, B-Mo. You ready to get raw?
I'm ready.
Ooh, baby, I like you raw. Yeah, baby, I like you raw. I'm on my shit. We gonna get lit. We gonna get turned. Ladies and gentlemen, B-Mo, she offended me. Before we did this episode, she offended me. Yes, she offended your fearless podcaster by saying, well, what did you say? As long as I'm engaged? As long as you're engaged doing this podcast, right?
Right.
Listen. I'm thinking to myself, this girl doesn't know who I bees, but she gonna learn. She gonna learn today. What's Kevin Hart say? Oh, you gonna learn. Oh, she's gonna learn. She's not gonna learn the hard way, but she's gonna learn the easy way. You feel me? So B-Mo, you know, I since we had a conversation. You know, on the book. Well, it wasn't a conversation. I saw you post about, you know, a 23-year-old dom trying to holler, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You can always stop me anytime. I'm correct?
Correct.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, she's, you know, she does, B-Mo engages in age discrimination and BDSM. You know what I'm saying? So I hit her up because I was interested in her thought process as to why a young man is in his early 20s. He's not worthy. He's not capable. He's not mentally there to be a dom. And I wanted to know her reasoning. I wanted to know her logic. Because all you ladies out there, and even dudes who want to be a submissive, you can learn from this episode. But I talked enough. I know my listeners, or yeah, my listeners, my subscribers are telling me to shut the fuck up and get to the motherfucking point. So, BMO, I just want to ask, like, why a young dom is not worthy to be a dominant? So you could be his sub, his or her sub, slave, brat, or whatever. Tell me, I want to know.
For me personally, what life experiences does he have now? Don't get me wrong.
Wait, no, wait. Hold on. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. We could be politically incorrect on this show, so I don't want you to pretense your sentences by saying for me. Don't say for me. Talk your shit. We could generalize.
No, I'm being honest. This is my opinion. This is based for me. Now, it's some women out here that love to have these younger men. It's not. It's a no for me.
Nah. Fuck that. These young motherfuckers gets no play in this ride. Anyway, talk your shit. Keep going.
For me, I have a 21-year-old child. I hear him and his friends talk. Why the hell would I want something like that to dom me? And then at the same time, don't get me wrong, people of all ages don't really have life experiences. But at 21, you're still finding yourself. So where can you lead me? Where can you guide me? And I mean, if I was to put myself in that situation with a younger man, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to run circles around them. They're going to get irritated even more than an older person would. And I'm going to take on the role of basically topping from the bottom. That's basically how I see it. That's what it would be for me.
So the young sub. So you said you have a son in his early 20s as well, right?
Correct.
So if you're dealing with a dom, your son's age, he'll literally be a motherfucker. Oh, you saw why I did that? Anyway,
but I just can't see it happening.
So you can't be a sub for somebody who you could give birth to.
Correct.
But you never know. You know, it's the young
There's no way, shape, or form.
But I agree with you because it's humans in general, like our brains really don't fully develop until we're 25, and my current self will move if I would have knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't have made the moves that I've made in my early 20s. But that's where wisdom comes in. So do you think that is because a younger man in his 20s, especially early 20s, he doesn't have the life experience and wisdom to bestow upon you as his submissive?
Correct. And it's not even more so life experiences. It's like you're really finding yourself. At 21 years old, I was still finding out what I still like. At the age that I am now, I'm still figuring out what I like. But at 21, if you're going to take on the role of a dom, most doms or most men who figure out that they want to be doms, I'm not going to say want to be doms. When I say want to be doms, I mean the younger kids, because this is it. They woke up and said they want to be doms. I've had conversations with men who basically said that he was a dom because he liked to be called daddy. I was just like, that's not what that is.
so why you think people get this misconception of being a dominant? Because he said that he liked to be a dominant just because he wants to be called daddy. Do you think that people get into BDSM because the cosmetics of it, like it looks good, sounds good? They saw 50 Shades of Grey and a few.
Go ahead.
And a few, TV like drama series, and they say, voila, I want to get into it because a lot of chicks in a swinger lifestyle, they want to cross over. But I'm not sure if you're familiar with this cat. His name is Sir Daniel. He's from BMO, and he was like, look, this is a lifestyle. This is not just something that you can hop in willy-nilly and thinking that shit gonna be sweet. You got to be dedicated to this, and you got to research and educate yourself. Urban Kingster said that too. It's all about education and research. But anyway, continue.
You actually, and I agree with both of them, because at the end of the day, if you're out here doing something that you have no clue what you are, you can hurt somebody.
Yeah, especially. Hmm?
Go ahead.
Especially when you engage in fire play, night play, fire play, like like you got some doms burning motherfuckers because they don't know how to, they don't know they don't know how to, handle their shit, so to speak. They don't know what the fuck they doing. So what were some of the conversations that you had with these quote unquote dominants?
A lot of the guys just don't even understand what the lifestyle is. If you actually, I'm on fact, so a lot of times I go and I check my messages
Wait,
and I see
hold on. Be more, hold on. When she says fat, she's talking about the
that
Fat
life.
Life website. Keep going.
So when I'm on these sites or something, answering my messages or whatever it may be, engaging in conversation, I really sit here and talk to these young guys that hit me up. Like I had one gentleman that had the hetero flexible on his page. So I'm like, do you understand what that means? And he was basically like, no, I like to be rimmed and I'm open to pegging. And I would say, that's not what hetero flexible means. You don't even know what it means, but you have it on your page. So you got to really sit here and engage. Like, why are you here? What is the point? But at the end of the day, most of these young people are on these sites or joining BDSM for the sex, for the fun that they may have heard other people talk about it. But there are people who are talking to them about it aren't talking about, well, I started from here and I worked myself up to here. People are getting this pretty picture of this is where I am now. But a lot of these older doms are talking to these younger ones, maybe in just conversation, and they're not realizing that they're absorbing this and they're trying to figure themselves out, and they're just jumping out of here instead of saying, hey, teach me, or hey, this is what I need to do, or this is what I want to learn. People are not learning. People are not doing anything. They're just jumping out there.
It's hetero-flexible because I don't know what the fuck that means either. School me.
Hetero-flexible in some terms means a man who basically is a top. He doesn't do any gay things, but he doesn't mind having his dick sucked. He doesn't mind fucking another man, but he just won't. It's basically bi or down low. You're straight, but you can go either way.
So it's basically some prison shit and gay for play.
Yeah,
gay for play shit.
What it is. That's what a lot of people feel the term is, and a lot of other people feel the term is you're basically bi-curious or bisexual, but you want to stay on the straight side. So you're not going too close to the bi side. You like to play, you may not go full in, but everybody have their own terms for everything. Hetero, flexible, homosexual, it's just so many different terms. So if you look on FetLife, it's so many different terms, and people are using these terms without knowing what these terms mean.
So would you fuck with a hetero flexible cat?
In a relationship wise, no. But that's just my personal, like in a settling down, I probably wouldn't. Maybe to play, I probably would. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
So why wouldn't you, lock it down with a man who's hetero flexible? Y'all can fuck dudes together, y'all can fuck chicks together, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can have one merry party, you feel me?
True. All that is true, but I don't think that would be something that I would, and it's nothing against, it's just my personal preference. I think once I would settle down, I need someone that is very, very much dominating. Not to be as in a situation where it's over dominating. I'm attracted to severe masculinity when it comes to settling down with a partner.
Now, a lot of these feminists, that's toxic masculinity.
Nothing to do with toxic masculinity. I never said masculinity as in a man. I just said masculinity, period.
I know.
You can take that, and they can take that any way they want. But masculinity is masculinity.
I know that because you know how people that's why I said on this podcast, we fuck raw. There's no politically incorrect. So, you could just let your titties hang. You feel me? But I feel you though, being with a hetero flexible dude, that's not your cup of Henny. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But back to the lecture at hand. So do you think that the vets are steering the youngins in the wrong direction in the
I'm not
process? Hmm?
I'm not gonna say it's the vets. I'm just saying that it's people out here that aren't giving full information. It don't even have to be vets. I have friends that hear stories. Like I've heard stories about the lifestyle and not knowing what was going on before I joined and saw a lot of things. I thought it was all white hippie power shit when I first started because I saw them old swinger movies. But then it was like such a culture shock when I actually went to an event.
Okay, let's talk about that. What was the difference between perception and reality?
Perception, like when they show you on TV, it's all like key parties and it's people going off to these secret little rooms. It was nothing like that. It was people just getting down and dirty right there, and it was just like a lot.
So you was into swinging before you got into BDSM.
Yes, I'm new into BDSM. I've done light BDSM, played around with different aspects, but far as getting out there and wanting to learn more and being submissive or open to submission is very, very new.
How did you? Who introduced you to the swinger lifestyle? How did you become acquainted to swinging?
Oh gosh.
Don't cut no corners. I told you we fuck raw on this episode. No condoms, no prophylactics, no fucking IUDs, no birth control, no none of that. If I shoot up the club,
Meeting people online. I want to say I think the first time I ever went to a lifestyle swingers party, I probably got an invite from somebody that's going to make me feel so old, from Nude Africa.
hey, he was from Africa.
No, it used to be a website that everyone used to hang out on. It's called Nude Africa.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I heard of that.
that's where I went to my first lifestyle party from.
Did you go with a date or as a single chick?
I went as a single female.
So you went by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a brave soul. Let's give this woman a round of applause. Listen, she's from BMO, so she's like, this ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm from BMO. We ain't scared. So
No, it wasn't like that. I built a relationship with the people who were throwing the event. I went to other things that it just like I didn't just jump out going into watching all these people fucking. I went to other things to get myself accustomed and to be around the people who I would be around.
Did you play at your first?
No. No, I watched.
You just watched. So you wanted to get your tippy toes wet, huh?
No, yeah, I don't really never really played at parties. I really mainly go for the voyeurism.
So how did you work yourself up to play? It's like, is it the vibe, the person? Like, what are the key ingredients for you to drop your draws?
It would be the vibe of the person. And it's not more so, I want to say the first time I actually played at a party with a person, it was because I built a relationship with that person outside of playing at the party. Like we chatted, we hung out, but we never done anything. So it was like at the party, it felt right and it would happen.
And that's why I tell dudes, you don't have to jump in the DMs and automatically whip out your dick. Just have a conversation and don't even talk about freaky shit because she already know you want to fuck and she probably want to fuck you too. So there's no reason to talk about sex. Just have a conversation with her. Get to know this chick. Get to know her as a person because you may find out some shit that you don't want to be bothered with. And by the time she sees you at the party, y'all know each other's do's and don'ts. Then it's like y'all have known each other forever, correct?
Right.
Yeah, it's you could work if you work your magic in the DMs in the inbox, texting or phone calling, you're gonna work your magic at the party as well. And that's why I say a lot of people should date on the phone, do a pre-date on the phone so they can get to know each other. Whether they had chemistry. But let me ask you this question. Was there ever a time where you conversed with somebody in the inbox, in the DM, y'all talk freaky, but by the time y'all got to the party, it was like, Like
I've
y'all
been like that on a solo mission. It wasn't even a party. I've been like that on solo missions, like
so
going to
why
meet somebody, and
so
it was like conversation was everything. But then when you got there, it was like,
so why you think that's the case? Like you think it's because it's a lot easier to talk online, but when you see somebody, the energy's not there. Because I think anyway, you give your thoughts and I give mine.
I think a lot of times it comes to him where you talk more than you actually willing to do. So it's like I've been in situations where I done bluffed down to the altar. I wasn't really with it, but I wasn't going to be a punk either.
And
So
that's
I
why.
think if there's a lot of times it'd be that kind of situation. Like people talk a good game, but they're really not about it.
Listen, I always tell these dudes, do not take a woman seriously until she dropped them drawers. Ow. You know what I'm saying? If she's not dropping them panties, always take it for a grain of salt. Take it as a grain of salt because expectation is the mother of disappointment. You feel me?
And
And
it goes both ways because y'all men be selling so many hoops, so many things, and then it's very disappointing.
well, speaking for myself, if the energy's off, and if her picture is not a representation of how she looks in person, then my dick is going to be a shrimp. It's not going to be a barracuda. It's going to be a shrimp. So it's all about the vibes, the energy, and if she's not even close to how she's looking in her pictures, we not getting down and dirty. You feel me? It's a no go. I'm gonna say, you know what? Oh damn, there's the time. I gotta go. You feel me? But how you ever ghosted anybody though?
Of course, I think everybody knows.
See, she believes in ghosting. See, listen,
I
listen.
mean, I've done things. I was like, well, done things. That's what makes you a better person at the end of the day.
What you say?
So we've all done things that we may have not should have done, but it makes you a better person at the end of the day.
True, true. So, how you been in the swing lifestyle?
I was introduced. I want to say about 18. So 17, 18. About
Wait. You got into swinging when you were 17 and 18?
I was introduced to it when I was 17 and 18.
What do you mean by that?
I was introduced, like I was introduced to parties. I was introduced. No one actually knew how old I was.
Oh shit. That's jail
Because
bait.
no one actually cared to ask.
That's easy. They jail baiting and shit. Nah. I'm what
17, 18,
in certain
I
states.
never went to an event. I didn't go to my first event until I was 21. Does that make that better?
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I love the way how B-Mo cleaned that up. Let's give her a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm about to say, like, so I want you to keep it 100. Be honest, be truthful. So, were you fucking at swing parties when you were 17, 18?
I know. I just would watch.
You were just a watch.
I never like everything was like curious to me. I was curious about what's going on. I dated older guys who were in the lifestyle, who were out there doing this, so I knew what was going on. But I wasn't a dummy, and I knew that couldn't nobody get me to do anything. It wasn't like, oh, somebody forced you into this. I went into this on my own. Like I knew about it, I understood it. I was intrigued by it. So it was something that I made a conscious decision. It was never no type of peer pressure. No one, like I said, I went to my first event by myself.
Did mommy and daddy know that their little angel was going to
I
swing
was
parties?
living on my own. I was living on my own. So it wasn't nothing that anybody could do. I was emancipated. I was living on my own. So nothing nobody could do.
No, excuse me. I stand corrected. Let's go. She talking spicy. She's talking that
So
shit.
if I was at the same time, you can say that, but I'm not. I never was a child. When I say a child, I never acted like a child. My friends are all older than I am because that was how I projected myself. It's never, even still now, I'm silly and I act goofy, but most of my friends are in their 50s, late 40s.
Listen, she probably listened to BB King and fucking, Marvin Gaye and the Temptations and shit like
No,
that. Harold Melvin on the Blue Notes. There ain't nothing wrong with that shit. I listen to the
but
Stylish
no,
Streets.
it's just the fact of I never really associated with people more so my age. So, like I said, I was introduced, but I never was jumping out there. I waited until my level of comfortability was to go to an event. The same thing with me going to any other events, whether it be play parties or demonstrations. I'm going to go to my level of comfort.
So, how was your time in the swing lifestyle? What did you pick up as you grew older? You was in
I
your
didn't
teens.
like it after a while. And it
So,
has nothing to do. I felt like a lot of people started bringing younger and younger people in, and it became less about. It came more about sex, just pure fucking. And it was no respect. It started being like respectful. Like I used to go to events where everybody was very respectful. You act, can you play? Now then it started being like people just going out there touching, grabbing, trying to force themselves on you. I didn't like it.
so instead of asking, like, let's draw up a scenario. I see BMO, and I step to you. I say, hey, how you doing? You say, hey. And you got pretty toes. Ladies and gentlemen, BMO has some pretty toes. Very suckable and very succulent. You feel me? So I say, I love your outfit. You got some pretty toes, And then we just shooting the shit. And then, as the conversation goes on, I may say, would you like to indulge? Like, would you like to play? And you got to say two things. I prefer that you say two things. Say yes or no. Don't tell me maybe or later or soon, because I'm going to take that as a no. Or you can say, nah, I'm good. Now, if somebody says they good, then just leave them the fuck alone. They don't want to play. But a lot of
And a lot of
times...
people don't realize that.
Huh? What you say?
A lot of people don't do that or realize that. Like, it's like when you're a female, and this is just from, again, my personal experience or things that I've seen or people that I've known who have gone through it. It stopped being a lot of respect. And it became more so people trying to impose, trying to like pressure. I'm not gonna say pressure. Pressure is not the right word, but it's more so like if you see somebody who's new into the lifestyle, you can kind of tell when you go to lifestyle parties who's new, who's nervous and all that. I feel like a lot of times people try to prey on that. And I didn't like that.
Yeah, if Shorty says, nah, I'm good, just leave her alone. And there have been times where chicks told me no, or no, I'm good. Like they didn't want to fuck, but at the next party they was like, "Yo, what's up? You want to get it in?" I'm like, "Oh shit! I thought you thought I was ugly."
And sometimes it's not even that. It's just maybe I'm not in the mood. Maybe I'm not comfortable. Maybe I want to see you in action. Like I done been to parties when I done watch guys put a condom. I literally this is the last lifestyle party I've ever been to, and I was done after that. And this was like 2 years ago.
Wait, what you said it again? You said they did not put on a condom?
I'm about to tell you what happened. The young man was at the party, and I'm like very observant. He was putting on the condom, but he only put it on the tip of his penis, and he was fucking. And he would take that condom off, put another one on, just the tip, and fuck another female. And I was just sitting there like, how does that work? Like he wasn't even putting the condom completely on. And I brought it up to the host, and the host was like, "Oh, I'll talk to him." And I was like, "That's weird." I never saw this boy go in the bathroom and wash his dick. Nothing. And I'm just like, how do y'all let this go on? And that was it for me. I was just like, I'm for this.
What you say?
That's when I realized it's like, I'm not for this life no more.
Well, this is when people saw that there were money into throwing parties. It's like, well, I don't give a fuck as long as they paid. You know what I'm saying? It's like people literally throw rent parties. You know, so a lot of these parties is their bread and butter. And secondly, a lot of group owners and hosts, they don't want to ruffle any feathers. You know what I'm saying? And that's why just because you're a group owner and a party host, that doesn't make you a leader. Because you got to make decisions. You got to make harsh decisions. Like you should be capable of banning your mama if she does some fuck shit at a party.
Right. a person should always be able to feel safe, and that's where it draws the line for a lot of people is the safety issue. Or if it is a problem, if somebody bring it to you, if I'm bringing it to you as an owner, like, look, come on, like, this is real weird, like, go fix this, go figure something out, because now I'm trying to figure out what else is going on that you just sweeping under the rug.
And you know what's crazy? People in general, it's not only in the LS and the lifestyle. People in general are reactive. They're not proactive. They see the fuckery going on, but they let it slide to the point where it gets so messy that you have no choice but to intervene. But that could have been nipped in the bud if you would have just stepped in and shut shit down from the start. It's like people wait until everything explodes to make a move. And I'm like, y'all don't have to do that. That could have been nipped in the bud before it got worse. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that's the case? That they don't want to ruffle any feathers, or they just like,
Very much so.
you know? And it's like a lot of people don't have heart. So that was your last, how long have you been in the swinging lifestyle?
Off and on for about 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. So going back to the rejection, you know, rejection is a part of life. And I'm glad that you said that it may be not, it's probably not the dude. It's probably not the dude. It's probably be the vibe, the mood. But a lot of dudes, they take it so personal. They take it personally. You feel me? And a lot of dudes have mommy issues. It's kind of like, you know, when they mommy told them no, they having flashbacks. It's like they having PTSD of their mama telling them no when you tell them no. So they're triggered. I'm like, dude, first of all, you should never put sex on a pedestal to the point where you're gonna spaz on the shit. You're gonna snap on her because she doesn't want to play. Like you said, it may not even be you. She's just not in a mood. And if she sees you again, first of all, women, they want to see how you move. Before you may look good. Hey, she may even like the shit that you post on social media, but she wants to see how you move. So when she give up the pussy, she don't want to feel like that she giving up the pussy to a fuck boy. But a lot of dudes, they don't put all that into consideration. They take everything for face value and they take it personally. You feel me? Oh, she told me no. Who the fuck you think you are? That's why you ugly anyway. It's like, come on, how old are we?
It's childish. The lifestyle is childish. I be on Facebook laughing at all the drama. Who's sleeping with who done did what. We shouldn't be able to know this. This is not what you do. This is not what the lifestyle is about. Your drama should be kept out of the lifestyle. If you and somebody in the lifestyle beefing, keep that between the two of y'all. Yeah. It's just that's a turn off, because like I be sitting there watching this stuff unfold and I'd be like, oh, this is a person's event I would never go to.
We're gonna talk about that off camera. We're gonna talk about that off camera. We're not gonna say that on camera. But we probably know the same people, you know, because the LS is a small pond. You feel me? So we'll rap a little bit about that off cam. But back to the lecture at hand. So you're you know, disenchanted with swinging, you know, and I feel you. I most definitely feel you. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this, you know, you have different circles and demographics in the swinger lifestyle. So if you see that something that's toxic in your circle, the best thing that you could do is A, find your tribe, or B, travel a network to find a circle that fits you, because every group and circle are not created equally, you know. So I'm gonna leave that right there. But anyway, so what brought you into BDSM? It's like, when did you make that switch from swinging to BDSM?
I love kink. I love different varieties of kink. Now I went to an event just to be going. I went to an event at the Playhouse and I felt like I lit up like a kid in a Christmas tree, in a Christmas store. Like, I had so much fun watching the different events, watching the different things. And I was like, oh, this is really what I've been wanting to do, but I was afraid. But seeing it made me like, okay, I really want to do this now. I really want to step out there. I really want to learn more. I always get these weird requests from guys, and then it'd be like, I don't understand some of the stuff. So it was like, let me just learn.
Did you
Let me
go
just
to the
learn.
Did you go to the fetish ball?
No, I didn't go to that one. I'm going to this year's.
Okay.
I went to the glow party.
I was at the glow party. I was at the glow party. You probably saw me, but you probably didn't know it was me. You know, I sent you pictures, and you'll probably be like, "Oh shit, that was you." And what the difference between a glow? I'm gonna tell you this right now. Fetish ball is wall to wall jam packed. It's like the glow party. You saw it was kind of empty. You know, it wasn't a lot of people. But I'm gonna tell you this now. You know, if you're going to the fetish ball, I advise that you get there at least 9 o'clock, 9:30, because that line is gonna be long as hell. So that's word to the wise. You feel me? So what was your like? Who are your mentors?
No one. I'm not right now. How can I say this? I'm learning about me. First of all, I want to know what I like, what I'm willing to go through my limits. Because how can I be willing to try to push somebody else's if I don't know what I'm willing to do? That's just how I operate. That's just how I see the things. I want to be able to know how it feels to do the same things that I want to do to other people to a certain degree. Some of the stuff that I'm into, I would never want it done to me.
It's going back to you having a 20-year-old son. I thought you was in your 20s because you look young as hell. Real talk. So I'm like, when you say I got a 21, a son in his 20s, I'm like, huh? I was like, Scooby Doo, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you look mad young.
Actually, your grandmother too.
What you say?
Said Sally, I'm a grandmother too.
Nah, you're not a grandmother. You're a glam mama. You feel me? You're a glam mama. But anywho, so what was your first BDSM event?
I went to a small little play party, a personal party. That was it. It didn't amuse me. I didn't find anything interesting about it. I think it was just more so someone talked me into going, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. But then I have friends who are certified out there DOMs doing all kinds of stuff, and I be watching them do things, and I just was like, oh, I could do that. But I don't really think I could do that. This was at the time. So it's like I keep getting introduced to it by various people. I don't have a mentor. I don't have anybody. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what I like in this right now. I'm trying to figure out where I stand more so than anything else before I try to jump out there and be someone's dom or anything else. I just want to figure out what I want, what I like.
So what were some of the red flags that you saw from doms, from dominance, that made you say, I don't know about you, that made you want to question, like, something's off about this motherfucker? So what are some things?
I don't like any doms that talk about fucking me or beating my ass within the first couple of conversations.
So they was on that shit from the jump, huh?
It's a lot of them that are out there, and again, those are what we say are fake doms, people who really don't know what's going on. They just jumping out there.
So going back to the conversation, what you say?
I'm gonna say, like, not every female who wants to be submissive wants you to whip their ass. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand the various types of submissives or the various types of doms.
So you had dudes who actually, you know, came out their face and said, yo, I'm a dom because I love it when girls call me daddy.
Yes. We had a conversation. I don't know if you remember, I was telling you about the other gentleman that I talked to. He happens to be in his early 30s, and I'm asking him what makes him a dom, and basically he was like, he can't see a woman talking to him in any kind of way. And I was like, oh, so you have mommy issues. I said, so essentially that's what it is. You have mommy issues.
It seemed like, correct me if I'm wrong, based on your observations, it seemed like a lot of dudes use BDSM as a way to masquerade their insecurities and a way to have some type of control and power. But they're doing it under the guise of BDSM, of I'm a dominant. Because some dudes, not for nothing, some dudes get off on whooping chicks' asses.
Yes.
But you don't know that though, because you think it's okay when BDSM is normal to get flogged, whipping, all that shit. But he may do it of a nefarious reason as to why he's doing it, a twisted reason. What you think?
I feel like a lot of them are basically trying to hurt their mothers or some parental figure or maternal figure that hurt them. That's just how I look at it as the psychology of it. And this, again, is my opinion. I feel like a lot of these guys that get into it are basically trying to hurt their mama or hurt a female that hurt them.
Yeah, because
So
I remember.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Because I remember I went to the Playhouse and this dude whooped this chick's ass to the point where she was crying, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I thought it was like, I didn't know. I didn't know whether I should stay or call 911. Not to say I'm a snitch or, I say that in jest, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, he really whooped the ass. And I be seeing, first of all, a lot of these dudes, they don't even give aftercare. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, kick him in, kick him out, kick him in, kick him out, kick him in, kick him out. It's like,
Some of them don't even know what aftercare is.
Okay, so break down aftercare for people who are not familiar with that term in BDSM.
Aftercare basically is, for most people, it could be anything from cuddling, from basically bringing them down from the scene or whatever activities that you get. It's the care that you give to help relieve the. Can't figure out how I'm trying to say this. It's basically aftercare, the care that you give after the scene. It could be anything from cuddling. It could be anything from getting them their favorite drink, coloring books. It depends on whatever the dynamic is.
So it's like after they reach their subspace, the subspace is like a heightened euphoria of the session. Aftercare is making sure that they don't have a sub drop, meaning like a bad withdrawal, like they're crashing. You know what I'm saying? So after a subspace, correct me if I'm wrong, after a subspace is like they're in euphoria. They feel like they're floating during this scene and a little bit after the scene. And then once the scene is over, you have to, give them aftercare, like make sure they're good, so they wouldn't have that drop, so they wouldn't feel like they're about to cry or they feel like they literally got their ass whipped for real. Because I've seen chicks in a corner, curled up in a fetal position after scenes because they got no after. I had to get a chick some water. Nobody did that stuff for me. I'm not even into BDSM, so go figure.
But that just shows you that people don't care. People are in it for all the wrong reasons. That's a person who probably isn't considered a real dom. That would be considered a real dom, because you would know that this person needs this. You know that.
So have you seen some fuck shit from reputable doms? Like, nobody's perfect. Like, we all fall from grace sometimes. But, especially speaking for myself, you make mistakes so you can learn from it, so you wouldn't do it again. Hopefully, we don't and we won't. But have you seen like behavior from reputable people who have a good name and you was like, wow, I can't believe you did that? Like, you didn't put them on a pedestal, but you was like, but in your mind you're like, yo, you should know better. Well, I'm kind of disappointed.
I haven't seen that yet. And again, this is because I'm fairly new. Like, I haven't seen any of that. I've heard stories about things, but again, that's Facebook, that's hearsay. Like, I've heard some bad stories about a person, but then I've seen that person, I've interacted with that person, and that person was nothing like anything I ever heard.
So it's all about making your own assessment, because when people talk shit about other people and give reviews, you don't know their intentions and motivations and agendas. You know what I'm saying?
It's a situation where it's though like, hey, if you come to me trying to vet a person and asking me questions, and I'm like, oh, maybe I have something for this person, and I don't want to see you with this person, I'm gonna be like, oh, blah blah blah. And I feel like a lot of people do that here, and not even just the lifestyle and life period. You're going to try to block as much as possible.
They probably just want you all to themselves. You feel me? They especially when you're new. It's like that freshman chick that all the dudes want to smash. You know, you're new, so you know you're a hot commodity. So what are the qualities that you saw in a dom that made you perceive
Nah.
that person as authentic?
Um, I'm gonna say when I'm talking to someone to show more concern, like I'm talking to a gentleman now, and I applaud him. I'm like, we've been talking all day today, and this is like our first just talking. You not once brought up sex. You actually held a conversation. You engaged with me the whole entire day, asking me my levels of comfortability, what I wanted to try, where I am in my life of kink, what I want to do. Like, not too many people do that.
So it's the little things that count.
Right. And this made me more so like we've been talking. We just been constantly talking and texting and everything. So it's like he gave me the options. He's asking more. Even if he thought about fucking me, even if he wanted to fuck me, he's not brought it up not once. He's not hinted at it not once.
He didn't hint at it.
No.
And I'm glad you said that, because you validate what I said earlier in the episode, and it validates what I always stress to my male audience. Fellas, when you're talking to a woman, do not talk about sex. Do not talk about sex. If she talks about sex, change the fucking subject. You feel me? Because
right, because a lot of times we'll bring it up to see how far you gonna go with it.
Say that again.
Sometimes we may bring it up to see how far you gonna go with it.
Say it for a third time. 3 times the charm. Say it for a third time.
At times we will bring it up to see how far you're gonna go with it.
Yes, and fellas, a lot of chicks, they just be talking shit. So don't, like I said, don't take everything for face value. And I'm glad you said that, because I tell them, do not talk about sex, because you already got the pussy in your hands. Why are you talking about something that may happen organically? Like, get to know this woman, get to see what's in her mind. You probably don't even want to deal with this chick. She might be a fucking psycho, a fucking sociopath, to the point where you hit it and now you have a stalker on your hands. And you're not thinking about that because you're thinking with your dick. You're thinking about fucking the chick to oblivion, like Mike Tyson would say. But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because I tell them, do not talk about sex. Because sex is more mental than physical. You want to get her mind wet before you get the panties wet. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the conversation, because not for nothing, a lot of dudes nowadays have the upper hand. If you're a dude who has a good conversation, a gift for gab, you already have one up, the leg up, no pun intended, on a lot of dudes, because a lot of dudes, they don't have a lot of conversational skills. They can't talk themselves out of a wet paper bag. That's why the first thing they do is send you dick pics and talk about how they gonna fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So you have the advantage. Like, even like you're in the top 5% by not talking about sex automatically. Automatically. Like, you know what I tell dudes? I give dudes a cheat code of how to spark a conversation with a woman. All you have to do is go on her profile page and see her interests, and see what she does, what she likes, what she dislikes, and tailor the conversation around her fucking page. But
that depends. Cause I think sometimes my page could be bipolar. You don't know what I feel or my interests are. And then that's also, you don't even know when you meet this person if this is like a dummy page or what. So,
well, I can see about the dummy page, because your name on the Zoom did not match the name on the profile. So I could see that. But even then, like the simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you from Baltimore. We could talk about Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Or whether you from, listen, I say I'm from Dallas. I'm not even from Dallas on my page. But even if I got that wrong, you're going to correct me, and we could use that as a conversational piece when you say, well, I'm not really from Baltimore. I'm from New Jersey. I just put Baltimore because I don't want people in my business. And I can say, oh, shit, I'm the same way. I got Dallas on my page, and I don't even live in Dallas. and then we can just chop it up from there. I mean, say, so how's New Jersey? This, that, and third. Yo, I want a hoagie. Like next time I go to New Jersey, I want to get a hoagie or this, that. You see, it's like you play off what she tells you, and then take it from there. Am I right?
Right.
See. Some of my listeners, they be thinking I be like talking on the side of my arse, but I really don't. But anywho, so it's like how many doms approach you? Like when they approach you, it's like, is it always sexual, or this is like a jewel, like a diamond in the rough? Is he like one of out of a million, or do doms constantly try to have you as a fuck buddy instead of genuinely trying to school you about the ins and outs of BDSM?
I'm gonna say honestly, I've probably met 4 that have honestly tried, but it's something two of them I just like really lost interest in because they weren't geared for me. And they weren't geared to what my goals were. Not to say what my goals were. They weren't there. What they were into, I wasn't into. It's like certain things I will fit there. Like when I'm talking to a person, just like they're vetting me, asking me all these questions, even if it's a general conversation and outside of BDSM or outside of the lifestyle, if I'm talking to you, I'm basically vetting you. I'm trying to see what interests that I have or that you have that are common, if it's something I want to deal with. Because a lot of times after 3 or 4 conversations, you know if you want to really be bothered.
Yeah. Listen, I always tell people, listen, a woman's phone is her vagina. She has it on her all the fucking time. So if it takes her like 6, 8, 10 hours to text you back, that means she's not fucking with you. Now, I don't give a.
I was gonna say that it could be busy. You can't honestly say that.
Nah. I don't want to hear that busy shit. You ain't that damn busy. Not even the president is that busy. You know what I'm saying? Like you could say, "Hey, how you doing?" It only take you 5 seconds. You feel me? If you really like somebody, if you really want to have not even a conversation, if you really like somebody, if you really fuck with somebody, you're gonna say something. You're not gonna like take your sweet time because subconsciously you really don't want to fuck with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like your heart flutters when that quote box comes up in your phone and you click on it, hoping it's that person that's texting you or DMing you, inboxing you hoping it's that person, and you're gonna respond right then and there. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I'll talk to him later." You know, like you don't want to be bothered. You feel me? But I want to know. So, what's the difference between your experiences so far in BDSM in contrast to swinging?
A lot less sex.
Why is that important?
I don't. For me, it's more mental. And again, I went into swinging, and I entered the lifestyle with learning myself. I entered early, young. I was learning what I liked. I really wasn't aware of the things that I'm aware of now. It is still stuff that I'm very much unaware of, just like anybody else. But I don't. I think if it was a different time, I definitely wouldn't have did swinging.
Why you say that?
It just wasn't something that after a while, it just wasn't something that was interesting. It just probably, as an older me, I wouldn't have entered it that young of an age too, probably so. I would have probably tried to learn more about myself before trying to jump out there.
Okay, you talking? What you trying? You trying to dog us swingers? Like, what was a swingers? Like,
no, it's not dogging. It's just a thing. Like I said, I was young when I entered. It was really something that I probably wouldn't have done at such a young age.
So
because, like I said, I was still finding out myself what I liked or what interests me.
So you're a young, dumb, and full of cum, huh?
No, I wasn't never young, dumb. Well, maybe a little.
You like cream pies to be more?
Not at all.
Boo! You don't want to get nutted in. But anyway, So what type of dom you like not looking for, but what compliments you? What type of dominant?
I would love my person would be someone who is about their shit. Like I feel like I'm at a situation, it may not look like it from the outside looking in, but once you know who I am as a person, I have my shit together. And I want someone who has their shit together because I want you to help me build on keeping my shit
Together.
together.
So what is that like? You don't have to be specific, but give me an example of keeping your shit together instead of having diarrhea. Keep going.
I wouldn't go for, again, this is just my opinion. I'm not going to go for a dome
Li-
who's living in his mother's basement and
Listen,
not
listen,
having drugs.
listen, BMO. You killing me with these disclaimers now. Like we know that we talking about you. You don't have to give us these disclaimers. You don't have to listen. We don't, like I said, we don't play it safe on this podcast. Keep going. You say you don't want to fuck with a dude who lives in his mama's basement. Keep going.
And you thinking you're going to dominate me, and like, what can you do for me? What are you going to show me when you can't even show yourself out your mother's basement?
Ooh, damn, that hurt. Damn.
I'm not going to go for someone who is I'm building my career and I'm establishing my life. I'm not going to go for someone who is bouncing from job to job and doesn't have a solid plan. I'm just going to want someone who's going to complement the things that I want out of life.
And how could you serve a dom? What are certain characteristics from you that you could serve a dom, a dominant?
I don't know. That's the hard one because it would be something that I would have to work on because I'm very strong minded, and it would be something that I would very much have to work on. Like again, I would have to be.
Baby girl.
Submission is natural. Let me say this. Submission is natural. If a man is going to be in a situation and he is going to present himself in that dominant, I'm going to submit naturally. But it would take a lot. I would have to, for me to be even willing to give anything in submission, it would take a lot. I'm going to be honest. It would take a hell of a lot.
So what is submission to you? What's your definition of submitting?
To me is basically allowing someone else to not per se control my life, but giving someone the power to lead. Because I'm always feeling like I'm gonna be a leader. I'm always basically giving someone the same power that I feel like I possess. To lose that control, to give someone basically control. And that's something that I don't do, is give anyone else control.
Control. And oh, well, I'm gonna get my Janet Jackson on. I don't know the words, goddammit. I just know control. You feel me? Control. So it's like, do you still talk to that young dominant?
I do, but it's just pure amusement at this point.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, B-Mo was so petty. She was so petty about the young dom. She did not bother to capitalize the D in dominant. She had a lowercase. Usually when people speak of doms, dominance, and BDSM, it's uppercase. Regardless of whether it's in the beginning of the sentence, at the end, or in the middle. They uppercase the D and dominant. But she did not do that. That's how disrespectful. She had no respect for this dom to the point where she did not capitalize the D in dominant. She said young dom with a lowercase. She pretty much called him a little nigga.
But how can I respect you and you didn't even know what you don't even know what it is? You don't even know.
So his definition.
Don't even know. So how can you demand respect for something you don't even know what it is?
So what do y'all conversations consisted of so far?
Basically me sending him to Google searches. He didn't even take the BDSM test. Like he didn't even know what his kinks were. He didn't know anything. He knows nothing. And like I say, I'm learning as well, but I'm able to tell you more than I'm able to tell him what I know. And I'm like, that's definitely not it. And it's just more so asking him questions so he can figure out what it really is that he is or what it really is that he wants. Some of them don't know anything at all. They're just jumping into, they saw Fat Life somewhere, they heard about kink parties, they done been to this place, they done been to Taboo. They don't understand. So that's basically our conversations are going, is like me asking them questions and then telling them like, okay, this is what it really is. This is what you're doing. This is what you think it is, but this is not what it is. And it's a lot of them out there. It's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. So how they able to live? How they able to eat? How they able to breathe in BDSM? If it's a good number
They
other
not
nothing.
into it. They're just that's the thing. They don't understand BDSM.
Okay, so
They're
let me.
just joining. They
So,
don't know anything.
so are they allowed into these circles? That's what I'm asking.
But most of them, if you go to the fat, if you go to an event and you pay, you can go.
At the
And
same
it's
time,
not even just like that. It's not even just, I'm just saying that. It's a lot of these places. If you pay to get in, you can go. And then that's how it is. So this is how a lot of people are getting introduced. But they don't know anything.
well, but it's not like they could jump into a station and have their own shit. If that what's they call that, St. Andrew's Cross? That's what it's called.
You have Google, you have YouTube. You can find everything on YouTube.
No. I'm saying it's not like that. If they go to the Playhouse, right? Okay, they paid their money, but it's not like that they're gonna be hosting sessions if they don't have a reputable name.
But no, these are people who are just seeing these on the sites. They have no clue of what the world is about. They're just on these sites, jumping on them, jumping on Facebook, jumping in these groups, jumping on this, that, and the third. They have no clue
Well,
what's going on.
okay, I get it, but what I'm saying is that if they're not participating at these events, why is that a threat? If they hold no weight anyway, because the cream always rises to the top. You're always gonna have wannabes, imposters, fakes, phonies, and pretenders. So
But at the same time, why not educate these people? Because then they could meet somebody that just doesn't know just as much as they don't know, and then they done fuck somebody up.
but here's the
So
thing.
why not stop that? If you see if you see this, why not stop it? If you see these people who don't know anything and they're jumping into it, because I have a female friend who's new into the lifestyle altogether. She was talking to a young man and she was telling me the story about him. I was like, girl, he don't know nothing. He just as new as you are. But she didn't know that.
That's why you got to do your due diligence and vet.
But that's the thing. People don't even know what vetting is. These people, what I'm saying is a lot of people under the age, I might want to say just get under the age of 35 are jumping into this. They don't know anything. They've never been to a lifestyle party. They joining in because they done read a erotica book. They done watched 50 Shades of Grey. They're jumping into these things and they're saying that they are these doms, these subs. They have no clue whatsoever about anything.
And like I was telling Urban Kingster, ladies and gentlemen, Urban Kingster is a reputable dom, a dame or dom, a woman dom, and a BDSM lifestyle. And she said educate and do your research. And what I'm hoping is that the BDSM doesn't turn like the swinger lifestyle as far as the commercialization of it. Like, everything gets watered down when it becomes mainstream and commercialized to the point where I've seen swingers become doms overnight. Like
That's
one
but
minute,
they don't know nothing.
and you know what's funny, at the Playhouse, one minute I saw this dude, he was flogging this chick, and she was like, yo, why you keep hitting the same spot? And I'm like, yo, this dude is not a dominant, yo.
But that's my point. They think they are, and they have because they learned how to flog, or they learned how to tie some rope, or they learned how to burn a candle and pour the wax on you, or they learned how to put a fire in a cup and sit it on your body. I can do all that from YouTube. I can do all that from going and find a book. That doesn't make me a dumb. That doesn't give me the experience. That doesn't give me the lessons. That doesn't give me anything. Like I said, the point is anybody can write anything down. Anybody can make themselves and build a persona. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're building personas and they're not really these people and they really don't know anything. And they're really either getting people who are damaged in some kind of way and don't understand and damaging them more. Because I feel like a lot of people are coming into BDSM now to heal.
What do you mean by that?
Healing, like a lot of people feel like a lot of people are coming in for spiritual reasons, but they still don't understand. You have people who are entering this life because of TikTok videos. You have people entering this life because they've seen something on Snapchat. You have people who are entering for all the wrong reasons. And that's going to diminish what's going on here. There's going to diminish BDSM and to a degree, like you said, like the lifestyle and swinging has done.
Yeah, it's if you're not doing it behind closed doors and the privacy of your own home, it's a fucking shambles. It's in shambles as far as these groups. You know, this groups, these social groups, these Facebook groups, it's like the fucking Wild Wild West. It's like an insane asylum, by the way. I remember I was telling my homie about the fuck shit, about the drama that be going on in the swinger lifestyle. And he was like, yo, how old are these people to make them carry on like this? He was like, he gave me the screw face and he was like, yo, how old are these people? You know what I'm saying? So what are some questions that you think a sub should ask, or sub, slave, brat, whatever the case may be, should ask a potential dominant?
What I ask more so, like, I ask about their styles. What style do they possess? I ask questions about
You don't have to be specific, like a general overview.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of general overview. I think I ask questions about their punishment styles. I ask questions about how long they've been in this, what made them get into it. I ask things like I would actually want to know if I was dating a person as well, because essentially to me that's some of the stuff that I would want to know, because you're giving that bond to most of these people, like y'all are in a relationship. But I ask certain questions that I would want to know, like health issues at the same time, because I don't want to be getting in this and then we doing something, you have a heart attack and die.
Yeah, we don't want that. You know, we do not want that. So what advice would you give a submissive coming into the BDSM lifestyle? You know, they gung ho. They're like, yo, I want to do this. I want to spice up my sex life. I got my kinks. You know,
I think just learn what you like. Don't jump on with any and everybody. Vetting is very important. Most of the serious doms, you can do a search on them and find out anything. Talk, express what you want, because at the end of the day, it's about you. It's not about the other person. It's about your experience. Express and advocate for yourself. Don't go into anything you don't want to go into, and don't do it just to make somebody else happy.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Some Baby. Check out my website at www.notsomebase.com. That's www.nahsunbase.com. BLAZE.com and check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right. Fuck, F-U-C-K. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. It'll make you say, na 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 na, ow. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any question or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace. You know.